Mabiga no do heyo no manago. Nogele Dorette Lomagarian Gari-On Talks. Anahaya Tuma Nomada Wayo Rosita Alvarez Lo Wadumurha Ho Luago Aba. How would you say show in Garifuna?
Um, Lago Warufudune.
Oh,
Warufudne or Warufdaha Logwe Hadigo Gungarino.
mhm,
Wayano Haba Twago Garada, no Garda Brewer or Habruha Garino. Buseto
mhm,
Wayano ha Twagarda Brituguya.
mhm,
Ayano Hageme ha Aburha Baru Garda.
mhm,
Lo Hishu Dumure won. Either la Lahiabi lo Habud no Garda to Kalawau Habud on Garda. Kala Samina be Hagumas Obe Habruha Garda.
mhm.
Yan ho geme Hawago Erem Hotea Burhate Orem Garifuna Urem Garifno Le Garat Lafari home Hamasungri Wago Tiyib Garada the Yengel be Wayan Hoguele
Mhm,
Buset Waria Haba do Wadeiro Grigia Gulchagwatia Hanago Garino Wafang Wayan home Grigia Adigatia Hegi Garino Aya Reba Giga Bedagotia darasa dago te sahu la ya grige subset wage garino gata to sahu wadai ba kabala dima hawon na tadago sahu no
mhm,
loago buseta ge wayan ha loago hawa grige hama grige ha adago baya kabiri ruguma adago te baisawa
mhm.
adagutia garau kabubiri ai adugogi to be yamadi awadeira grigia lohiabi ayanu hawon to ago tadago buoti ai adugogi to be buoti to hoso bon garino no the hageba be grigia ha waria ha and I
Mhm,
get to subuse habe grigia ha gabe hon ha dumure won
mhm,
Ona me dumre won lau hiri grige ha aduma ha numero.
mhm.
Ela mo wagoro hon do wayan ha ham.
Right. So, for the most part, what Miss Rosita said. So, we're starting this show to sort of like highlight works by Garifuna people, and it could be, a variety of works uh, from books written by Garifuna people or about Garifuna people, from people who sew Garifuna clothing, from people who make Garifuna food to probably sell, like darasa, cassava, sahel, people who make, the arts, Garifuna drums, gararo, people who make boats and other crafts, and if you know people like these, you can reach out to us, around these different social media. You can also email us. I'll provide the email at the end of the show. Um, so it's to highlight work by Garifuna people, and we're going to discuss them. We're going to show you examples of them, and we're going to let you know what we think about them and how you can access these works, where you can buy them or where you can find them. It's basically to promote our people and their many talents.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So to continue the so let me switch to the presentation, which is this one. All right. So book in Garifuna is Garada. You're
Mm-hmm.
open to do the Garifuna part, Miss Rosita. I'll talk in English
Okay.
and you can
All
talk
right.
in Garifuna. And one or two
Okay.
words I'll say what
Right.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
So book in
Okay.
Garifuna is
Okay. Fumelu wayanwa twago garada. Um, noha noha garada toluwa wayanwa twago
mhm,
tabuha aba garifuna. Ya Meriga Tagano, Brooklyn Tagano, Grigeto, Frances Flores-Sentino. Frances, let me invite Tagu Gula Frances Saint Bede. You may Tagu Gula Frances. Like me, Kay da, away there to get about the Hadiro, Yenge, Dangriga again, Tadero to Wayaho Merigo. So, yeah, well, maybe be a room go away. Abata naduma kutuma ba weyo abata dima hano la buseta gumese ola mama buseta gumese ola abuha aba guard tia no dalige gumese na abuha aba garda lo hasubsuni grigia lo agwe egini le wabo gube wage garina go balis lobo balis bo garda to leader bo english abati tiduno garda to mama's cookbook Read Garifuna Tabogun Nugushu. Tabogun Nugushu. Ligeti Gardato. Gara Titi Tadeu Gardato Luago at Nui Garato Walmart. Gian getting Babino online. I think Nui Amazon.
mhm,
Amazon online. Yembi Talugo Hoa Gardato. Afago Homa lo Hagaihano. Lo Hishugo ile meito Frances Log Taburha Alia Homonge Leti Hubo Homogara to home how gen Hassanigo. They would say my habo hegi gerino. They would say my habo gay gerino. Gibe around you go up there labo hegi gerino. Abati Hachawan no garda taba habo about Heya Hanile Habsabelu habo. Abati habo
mhm,
hegi gerino. So Logo Nobody fume garda or Waguma.
mhm. All right. So Miss Rosita was saying, as much as I can remember, so the book is written by Miss Frances Flores-Sentino. Um, Miss Rosita said one day she saw her and she told her that she was writing or starting to write a book, and that it was going to be about food. And why am I'm hearing a repeated song in my headphone? But anyway, it was going to be about food and cooking food, healthier forms of food that she grew up with. You know, she's from Belize. She grew up there, but she migrated to the States and she lives here for several years. And um, so the foods are Garifuna food that she grew up with.
Mhm.
You know, in this book, she talks about her life growing up in St. Bites and talk about her family, her siblings, you know, what the foods that her mom used to make, and she learned to make those foods as well. But growing up, growing up, you know, eventually she was when she got older, she was diagnosed with pre-diabetes. So she decided to make a change in her life, And so she started to cook the food that she used to grow up with, but with a twist, replacing it with foods that are more healthier and that would not increase, her blood sugar or have her become, you know, full have full diabetes. She made that change, so she shares some of those recipes with us. And, if you look in the book, you can buy the book, as Miss Rosita said, it's available on Walmart, it's available online, it's available on Amazon too. You can buy it, share it with your kids. They can read it, they can learn these different recipes, and learn to cook if they're, the Garifuna foods, if they're interested in doing so. Um, so this is the front of the book, Mama's cookbook, a memoir and recipe book. So it's a book about her life and the recipes that she grew up with. So that's about the author. And this is a excerpt of the book, page 25 and page 65. So you can see in terms of the book what to expect. Um, so Miss Rosita, do you want to do page 25 or the second page, page 65?
Um,
Can you see it?
no, it's too small. What I'll
It's too
do,
small? Okay.
what we could do with this, I'll
Mm-hmm.
have to, once we're off, I'll blow it up and I'll make notation. I'll make my notes. So when we
Okay.
come on live, I'll be reading off my notes.
Yes, that way you have it in
Right?
front of you.
Right.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. So what I'll do then is read it out loud, and
Mm-hmm.
if you want, you could translate it or summarize it in Garifuna, so
Okay.
you'll have an idea of what it's saying. Um, so this is a page that I found, page 25 in the book, that I found very interesting because it kind of let you know that family is very important to Miss Frances and why, you know. So it says, my dad was always working or doing community service. He led the prayer on Sundays and he took care of the church services when the priest could not be there. Um, do you want to translate that, Miss Rosita, or should I fully read the first paragraph and then you'll translate it?
Um, yeah, read the whole paragraph and
Okay.
then let me I could jot down things.
Okay. Do
So you
you want to
said
read
she
the first
began by
sentence
saying
again?
her dad,
Yes, her dad was always working or
okay,
doing community service.
okay,
He led
okay.
the prayer on Sundays and took care of the church services when the priest could not be there. Mullins
Okay.
River, where my family lived, was a small village. There was only one priest from the town and surrounding villages. The priest, who also managed the schools in the district, only visited a few times a year. That's the first paragraph.
Yeah. Okay. Bida fumenti tabuha fani wayato.
Hmm.
So subuse to sungogere subuse bube to fani wago hato.
Hmm.
Atadimenti loa tushi Mr. Flo. Dog me swanda la luadig Maria da de meistur me ha Mr. Flo. So swanda me hati luadig Maria. Ligenge wait me hage wadag man la diga yen hagana go grigi. Agano Grigia, Lide Haba, Uwat Lungwa lo Lide Ha. Uwa Lige Lungwa lo Lide Ha, Ligili Shru,
Mhm.
Letty Dame had done Ligira. Aba Log Hati or Bian Hati, Diame Haya, Liaba Didi, Fadiri, Lidomburi, Lobadna, Odi Lira, Lunda Diggle Mexico, Mama Suanda.
Mhm.
So leader by Mr. Flo leader there. Leader Bri, the Diggle Messi, Liba Diggle, Kesiala had Diggle, Mama Fadi, Lemes, right? Herengo. A Mama Fadi sent Herengo, they had Duelo, sent Herengo Lemes. Well, Hadiba take community service, Hadiba Aba, Hayaba Griggle Little Aba, Halihabo, Garudia, Heremuhaba, Ladima Hoba Luango, Leveru Bungi. Lutia Mahageti, Fanny, House on Tibigo, Aganawa, Mullins River.
Mhm.
Lutia Mahaganawa, Mullins River.
So, to continue, she says, even after my dad retired, he was active in St. by our village. He was the village council chairman for a few years and became the justice of the peace. My dad continued to help in the church and became a minister of the word with a few other men and women. I always I was always trained, not always. I was also trained as a minister of the word to help in the church.
Lagi, Time Lareda Loadig Mary, Tushi Fanny, about how you hide on Saint Baby. Yang Saint Baby, about Labudulo, Ligeba la, Lichugna, Barrier, the email, Lichugna Bay. Lige how Lisani bo, Gibet Mehati Wadagman Hadiga Lida Aba, Gyalamuga, Hiderogunea, Sunghayin by Hagano Bay. Even the Ryan Ha, Abagati Hebelo, Ligili Shrugo, Lige more to Beba Lisani, to Tibga Fanny.
Mhm. Mhm.
More Hiauto,
Mhm. Sister
Nuevo
Joan.
Yara, Nuevo
Mhm.
Yara, New Orleans.
Mhm.
So, Ladiga Meati, Loiri Luadig Mary Ugushi Le, Tida Ligilisi, Aba Tebelo, no Mohobota.
Mhm. So it says, it continues, my parents encouraged me to love God, myself, and others. They always believed in helping others, and we saw this every day. My parents taught me that there is no reason why we cannot help others. When we help other human beings, we are also helping ourselves. We all need people. We are social beings.
Wait, Kebo Nego Wayla, Wadangman, La de Hagushi, soon the familiar ha, Gide had it here. Soon be Gide had it here. Soon, Tibugayan, Neha, Tati, no Tamula Wugele. So ye Gide had it here. Erenga tia, the dirty, Erenga Montagubu home. The Mege Wama, Grige, Mege Tua, Loom. Where I be little Abba, get am go reader wombo.
Mhm.
Ready titi lira hada sunhagi. Digia Elizabeth Abrunha fanning on the dirty cake subusi nania familia.
Mhm.
Um Tinaro, soon let tabuha be. Mama le hamuga tisamina tungo. Ehe tumutliwa lida ha familia. Abati aba gubaiti triangula tishigala tidon garda. Abati tishun tidon garda. So nuhanti garda. Oe muhar garda. Gya haliti wagai hanu. Lu waliha ni, no? Lu waliha log meha tawaya do fani hamatu familia. Tafari hayi wama. Digeta tadigbe tafari hayi wama.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm.
So afago ma lu ma wagai hanu lu waliha. Kebi wagai hamu garda. Ita la hamage wagai hanu buri. Garda brito. So habuha garino. Kebo nengu home. Garifuna mama gari tabune luago wadigo go wage garina go. Meme gilida English taburdo. So meme go bay hamati hulo haliha no dala English.
Mm-hmm. All right. Seremein. So another feature of the book is she also shares what she learned when she attended workshops at the senior center to learn how to cook healthier meals, to avoid getting diabetes. So they are like step by step in terms of what she learned during that workshop, like how to cook pasta more healthier, how which type of rice or grains to buy and to cook, you know, what type of breads to buy and vegetable, how to cook, what to cook. For example, on page 65, the number 5, it says top baked potatoes with steamed veggies and non-fat sour cream, how to substitute it with foods that are more healthier versus not. And another 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 example is make a delicious stew with plenty of potatoes, carrots, and onions. So she gives a lot of suggestions and examples of what we can do to eat a little bit healthier, especially since diabetes is, probably one of the top 5 illnesses that's affecting a lot of people, especially people in Belize here in the States, So she gives advice based on her experience so that we can learn from it and we can eat healthier and be healthier. So that's another reason why, I like this book as well, as she offers advice on what we can do to be healthier, to eat healthier.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Abura to deti fani afari hatuama either lubala wabogu wagebri le ni diabetes wawago. Lama he dan liga libi me sugar libi me heater haba me wagubri wa ni la libi me heater wago diabetes me hati wegu bati owat me hati bige logot me la wasubu siru kaba labi wadiga de leabi kati le wa because ligebe afar gubalia wayuno wagutunu wariguti wagushi yaso liga afar gubalia la diga le bedro tibuga um libime hita le wado dame habada inga to mehen lo wuriti wage gen la sandi le bo mama liti ether ni sandi le lida sun ubo wuriti biebe haruti biebe muladu idudu katabla dagati sandi le boago Gibete a 2000 wuti la de na ebe egini kala lida be egini. So abati tabur ha hiya to luti tishu go fe won wider bala ma wider go wongo kabala weiga either bala wabo ni weigi. So soon le ni hitina garda so either bala wabo ni weigi wogele ganti diabetes so kabala bi wadiga lu wider go wongo. La so wi bata yesu sia but tishu yenti won itaga ba wadiga do wide ha do wider go wongo gela mga maguru la sandi leha mo wago deti barula de bligeta sandi le diabetes keme gutita lo bafi do le daye abakate e no monte da no family gibe ya di do yo o guten law
Mhm.
adiga mo tun le hayarat but belu ligia belu le belre
Mhm.
to beat it lo gen warrior hanibri dimure leti da garda to leti shugbe won kabala wadig ida lubala wida gu wongo.
Mhm. So we just reviewed the book. So in terms of where you can find the book, it's available online. Ms. Rosita had said on Walmart as well. It's available in hard copy. Um, this is the hard copy I have here,
Mhm,
and I bought this on Amazon,
mhm.
and it's also available digitally via Kindle, Amazon Kindle, so you can
Right.
download the ebook as well. So if I click on the link, so this is the website that is referenced on the book, the back of the book. So if I want to know in terms of Amazon how much this book costs, I can just go to the website. And this is it on oh, let me switch. So this is it on Amazon. So it's 9.99 for it, the hard copy like what I have here. And yeah, so you can purchase the book if if you're interested. And hey, support our Garfuna authors. She talks about her life and recipes she grew up with and how to eat healthier to avoid getting diabetes, and she's sharing with us what her experience and what she learned, you know. So yeah, support our Garfina authors.
Yes.
So how we said next, Miss Rosita? Was that the word we want to use?
Um, uh,
Uh,
we're going to say in girlfriend next where uh,
like coming up next or
own the woman,
another woman. Like I want to say
own the woman, do your won't what you would say, own the woman till lo urem,
Undi Roma Tui Lu.
lo urem.
So Oremo is
Or you could say, Wadima ha log aba urem,
okay. Watimarha
wasasura.
Luago Aba Oremo. So we're
Or
gonna
they
change
have different
now.
ways of say it, wasasura lo urem.
Okay.
Wasasura, wayano ha lo urem.
Okay. So Wayanoha Luago Oremo.
Mhm.
So Oremo in Garifuna is the
Um,
song in Garifuna is Oremo.
mm,
So the song that we chose today is Yurumei by Aurelio Martinez, the late Aurelio Martinez.
mhm.
It's still weird saying that word, the late Aurelio Martinez. You know,
I
he's
let
a
you know.
well-known, yes, a
Mhm.
well-known Garifuna artist who is from Honduras.
Honduras.
Yes, from Honduras. He recently passed away. And he was honored, you know, in Honduras. He was buried in Honduras. He was honored in Belize for like the whole week. They were having events,
Yes,
in his honor.
yes.
Even here in New York, all over, where he was well known. So I definitely miss him and will miss his music. So in honor of him, we chose this song, which is one of my favorite, called Yurumei. So I guess I'll hand it over to Miss Rosita so she can translate some of what I said or some of what, or her thoughts on Aurelio Martinez.
Mm, I won't be able to say much about the song because I don't know the song that he sang.
Hmm.
Like I said, I know there are different Yurumei songs. Everybody sing it differently.
Hmm.
Um, Yurumei, I know, is the one that we sing in Belize. It used to be. It's very popular during the 19th of November because that's the one we were taught.
Hmm.
But then the Honduran people, I think, pick it up and they, well, like everything else, everybody put different
Their
words into
own
it.
twist, yes.
They put a little twist,
Mm-hmm.
which is still good. Nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I could get na yan musulago
Aurelio.
Aurelio.
Mm-hmm.
Daduga ya meriga na subsidiary Aurelio. Um, in about 1992, either 91 or 92, and I think it's 92. Lige na subsidiary Aurelio. Fumen na dungo guluma Aurelio. As a matter of fact, dungwat na luma. Digame tanugini aba na subscribe no matter Sandra Bell.
Mm-hmm.
She's a promoter. Aba tanugini Aurelio Yaho Dandigia during during the summertime. I'll look for that word summer so I could use it in Garifuna. Aba
Mm-hmm.
tanugini tubeti na duro goluma lediga aba tagoro noago lo natira go tubion lediga tagoe hawago aba tago hawago furo grige mama band grige lo wayabe lutibo wa duro goluma Aurelio ya infume na duro goluma Hesabetiti Aurelio no yen wiliga no genga gafne sunha yibi garinda go hayen baya logo tereng gafun Aurelio ti Garifuna ti liga mabude mabule tu lubana Aurelio never dice que Belén Aurelio nita nita
What? All right.
la nigga de watching way ya nuge gen na yan halu fi gamle Garifuna la diga sun hayin bayan Garino gebete ya ba menga think
Mm-hmm.
Garifuna menga te
Mm-hmm.
Garifuna adima meger English Mary gay but you
Mm-hmm.
be la me ti rale indura again ogil um English leader
Mm-hmm.
Garifuna luma chumag lingo because
Mm-hmm.
indura again
Mm-hmm.
but hesa betien way ligea they no then nengulo na wisa lo ne bugala hago yo bay buga sani tu ligani subsa
Who's
lum
he
o
gonna
ay
talk
la me
to?
kawala mo
Yes.
la ya no ne bugaga
Uh-huh.
ah yenti na dungo luma la yanu ha loago leremu ha indura la bud ni leremu adima hatien twag lugushu lage game hata lugushu
Mm-hmm.
um yenge la le belo bi uremu le lo la buho uremu do le remu ha bo gidara tumala hise bonlo
Mm-hmm.
abale mo dan le gidara tumala hise bonlo an ariyo wa mud genti la gidara la hise bonlo already le
Mm-hmm.
diga aba me ha la friend de runi tuma twagud gidara and
Mm-hmm.
gafara dit already gidara.
Mm-hmm.
So Mama Suan da nini, but now and then, yeah, naduma baluma, yeah, Brooklyn, Brooklyn hagano libe, Brooklyn get hagano lushu. So
Mm-hmm.
niti ora naduma balum. The wayano ba hon deme waduma wayano. Liabeti abada 2019 aba lagoro da daga waila no adig merge leader um Hagana o Garino in the Garifuna community that guy Hagana o Garino ya married wait no adig mahada subuset nati hombre ubudu ya married aba hagoro no ago in 2019 aba lagoro governo no ago Yurumei
Mhm.
lo nanaga aba lo nadiga aba weya so Yurumei gamay na garina
Hmm.
midi gidna me hati Yurumei fume bati nidi Yurumei
Ah.
mosti buga neya ha kababri lati yudu owa numa loago ibugunile so aba abiha natibo grige but the nehi sambe wagegla megate na grige game haditia
Mhm.
megate na grige gafar ditia garau megate na grige gafar tia sisir megate na grige halube hadim halak horoga te garino sunglir mege wat sant widi sant wachulu nyehi chuludugu wagea and sant wofudu nikata
Mm.
aba na samina log Aurelio
Mhm.
dungwa natibo luma Aurelio kemna aba hati lubarage de na gumbre home lo need the leader ba damurigo home indurana in the Bronx.
Mm.
So yenyati na duro go luma. So detiba na bini dumure le luma geti guberno yume ge ahi galbe na digni aba na samina logo already aba neti le numero no. Seme geti ni le numero aba na wolo. Aba ne ulo Aurelio ite bagi namule abale no nito guna na bogono manu guna na ini blige buga kan geta
Mm.
mai nani bu ligeti no abane
Oh.
ulo binara abane ulo bobusan na yanu habuma no kama sabadiga nito fume ele no kama sabadiga nito abane deme wayanu ha ibi deme wayanu ha gete lo
Mhm.
abane ulo wohili gaba we abane ulo naniga di wararu no gete lo abane lenkera
Oh.
halulete lo awal lengo no hello badi bina abane ulo
Oh
madihe
my.
abane ulo madihe ba ngete lo sabati wadungo golo abane lengo ni lo kala na bute rube kala ti nalu gudube lo na diga abal lengo no amo abal lengo no need o wat ni am dumure needib leata
Mm.
abal
Wow.
lengo no needib over boom lo widi yume midi gina yume leno midi gina tan yume
Mm.
so widi ba yume aba ne lo widi ba yeta chulu bali so aba lengo no weibuga lengo Aurelio no lengo Aurelio no weibuga
Mm.
weibuga lengo bidi wa weibuga lengo no aba ne lo weibuga yeyo prudential no kan
Mm.
ne wa ni ni labe dungo le nanu ba bia ruro grige
Mhm.
Abahengo no heidi bala so ligeti wili yurume dangia 2019 Luma Aurelio. Tia ne mabule dunu bay ebugunile. Mabule dunu bay ebugunile. Ladaga ide hat Aurelio wama dangia lo lida weresi biru yurume. The wabu yenhi wabu yurume. Niha Aurelio tau ligida half for a guy's ha airport. Wachilu be yen lige inaugurate wala han Yurumei airport, Argyle Airport 2019.
What?
Half of the guys had jahan te media all over.
What?
Later half of the guys have way lige. The league at every home Yurumei na. Fuma hehi kate libele. Yen yen gente le tu na Yurumei, Prime Minister Gonzalez.
Mhm.
Mama lo buido, weibu dalige luma Aurelio. De lo be la bucha gula hilala
Mm,
Aurelio. Hell, ma fiat naib. La diga gibe gil wadagman lebe la digni. Meme yisiant wengu ita lalati arrange seli waburme luba.
mhm, mhm,
Arrange sel luba, lehe luba aka lehe waburem. Adiga ba lelube badigni biya
mm,
biya.
mhm, mhm,
Lalati Aurelio ma madigi hambe Aurelio boy lo leader ogni an ehan na la digni le ehan mut la digni le suanda ya merig ehan mut
mhm,
la digni ya merig te bago la Aurelio ya merig lo liabi dida hamo fume gwargo a le kate hadiga garinago la chulu yar gali geleng be boy ay yabe leng oh ay um New York but na boy ge madi he ba ni to na chulu alla chulu
mhm,
la chulu but ya suanda la chulu so wait fade wada we get garina go log already wait wa fade meme gi ke nengo mama la wage gaman heri baby law ibagari bungu gaman heri baby law ibagari lige owa lobe Aurelio wama ya unge
mhm,
o sungle adiga lalbe
mhm,
mabule dobe Aurelio leti waiti lafa wo Aurelio lul la roof da hangarifon waiti la dima ha Aurelio luago garifona la garifuna teme la dimha eribu la dimha la garifuna la dimha balwago weremo ha garifuna an aruf da lumut geti la hise lalu la log la bagarid da adiga lumut buidu adiga
mhm,
lumut mama rugu lu la fairu uti ge didege didege la subudi uti
mhm,
afari hati hama garino la subudi afari hat mama suwa da lengbo revo mo bisu milu fiado no mo no liabibo what milu fiado like ye mehi lumuti Aurelio Garifuna the world case about fight
mhm,
and the get hamuga the get up to lo her friend the room ha ya yamba ubogo ha go by hongo puntarakantis to get like he shugun did again her friend they hongarina go halad
mhm,
mama lamos ha gubra ha milu fiado sag la goro boago lum biabi hongarina go pusati milu fiado you be ba uba lida again leba subudi the uargoti boom a farin hebege and the game hati the digbe already uargoti lu a farin hello mutgan o yuda ti waba ugen we you yuda mera wal luma bungi
mhm, mhm,
yuda mera wal luma bungi
mhm. All right, so to summarize some of what Miss Rosita said, she said she met Aurelio at a friend's when she
mm-hmm.
was visiting a friend. Um, uh, Her friends were Garifuna, but they didn't really speak Garifuna. She was the only one that could speak Garifuna among her friends. So Aurelio and her clicked right away,
Right away.
So they talked, they really had a good time, conversing and learning about each other. He talked about his mom, he talked about his song, writing his song, that his mom was an artist, that his favorite thing was playing the guitar. And after a while, Miss Rosita bid her goodbye, and Aurelia was like, "You're leaving?" He didn't want her to leave. So she said years later, a long time, what was it, in 2019? she got the
Yes.
opportunity. She was invited to come to Yurumei, which is Saint Vincent, where people are from. Um, and she was asked to bring along people with her, but she didn't want to just bring anyone. She wanted to go over there and teach, our people who are there about us and our culture and our music. So she started looking for people who could sing, people who could play drums, people who could play the sisera, the shaker. And so she started to call people, and she thought of Aurelio as one of those people. Um, so she called him to invite him to Yurumei, and he was, very willing. He was happy that she called him since she hadn't heard from him in a while, or she hadn't spoken to him in a while. He was so gracious. He said, "Yes, I will come, wherever you want to go, including Baliso, which is, that has a history as a barren island where people were
Mhm.
just left to die, you know." He said, "Yes, I'm going to come." And he came, along with my cousin Prudencia. She was a part of the crew as well. At the airport, they were playing, Garifuna songs,
Yeah.
Aurelio with his guitar, with the drums, and I guess whoever was playing the Cicera from the airport, the what is it, the Prime Minister was even
Was
there, the
there?
media was
Yeah.
there. I know people were so amazed at what they were seeing and hearing. So, and Miss Rosita was saying how gracious and generous Aurelio is whenever he's asked to attend an event, even if he's not paid, and he says he's going to show up, he shows up, he gives back, he helps people, he always shows up.
Mhm.
So she was saying, more Garifuna artists should be like him in terms of his generosity. It's not always about money. It's about giving back to your community, teaching your community about the Garifuna culture and everything about Garifuna Duo, everything Garifuna, what it means, and giving back. And like Aurelia, who was very kind and was always happy to teach about the Garifuna culture, especially through his song, through his music. And she said because of that, she will always remember him, and that's why when she heard that he passed away, it was so hard to believe that's the case. But the Almighty is the Almighty, and
Right.
whatever He says, whenever He said it's time, it's time. Even
That's
though we'll
right.
miss Him, but we're grateful for all He has contributed to our culture. And including the music. So yeah, Aurelio
Mhm.
Martinez. Right. So what we'll do is play a sample of the song so those who are not familiar with the song
Mhm.
can hear.
Churumeye, hayabi wadugeyo, alura keina mua, lukere denu. Hajurumeye, hayabi wadugeyo, alura keina mua, lukere denu. Hai muale, hade
Did you send me?
iluligate.
Did you send me the?
Hai muale, hade iluligate. Yakuligate.
What were you saying?
Okay. Did you send me a clip of the song Yurumei so I could I want to translate it.
I can send you the link to the YouTube video,
Okay.
and then you can just play it
So
on
I'll put it in
YouTube, so
English.
so you
Yes.
can pause and stop as many times as you want until
Okay.
you.
I'll put it into
the
English. Okay.
translation. Yeah.
All right.
So that's the song. So we'd
Okay.
play like, let's say about
Just a
30
little bit.
seconds of that.
Yeah. All right.
So like until after the chorus starts to
Right.
play,
Uh-huh.
and then you can just translate that part of it so we know
Right.
what it's saying. So
Uh-huh.
once you do that, I will switch after you finish, I will switch to what you translated. This is just an example of what we would show after you do your translation. This is what
All
the
right.
song is saying. And
Okay.
then this we can always share on I can share this on social media so people can see it.
Okay. All right.
So this
Okay.
is what I think it's saying.
It's going to be like, yeah, this is okay.
Our ancestors
Yes.
came
Okay.
from Yurumei to find somewhere to stay. The land that they found, I'm assuming that this is what it says, was barren.
Yeah. Um,
Waliha Garifuna ya Hulugate Uboguya.
okay.
That's what I'm assuming that's what it's saying. I
All
could be
right.
wrong. You would
Yeah, I
know.
want to listen to it, then I'll
Yeah.
okay.
But this is an example of, you know,
All right.
what will show after you do your live translation per se of
Okay.
it. And then I can post this after the show on social media so people could see it. All
Okay.
right, so Miss Rosita will, well, like I said, this is one of my favorite song. Reason being, it talks about Yurumei,
Uh-huh.
St. Vincent, where our people are from, you know,
Right.
and the way how he tells the story through the song, the
Right.
starting with the sound of the river, of the sea at
Hmm.
the beginning. I think that's brilliant. That's genius.
Okay.
And the way how the rhythm flows and the words that
Right.
he's using to describe what it was probably like for people, back then in Yurumei. So
Exactly. All right.
all of us as Garifuna and knowing our history, we can relate to this song,
Mm-hmm, hmm.
And it has a beautiful rhythm, and it's still something you
Oh
can
yeah.
dance to,
Very
even though it's
nice.
giving a strong message.
Right. Right.
So, in terms of where you can buy the song, I need to
Well, I
verify this
think
still, but these
most
are
of
common places where
yeah, most of
um,
Aurelio's song is on Spotify, I
oh,
think.
it is?
I think
Okay.
that's where you find them.
Spotify is one for sure.
I
Oh,
think most of them, that's where you find them.
all right. So
Hmm.
maybe I just put Spotify.
Yeah.
YouTube, of course, if you wanna
Yeah, it's
get it
YouTube.
and see the videos, some of his videos
Yeah.
that
You
he's
could play it. Yeah, YouTube
on
plays
there.
them.
A lot of
Hmm.
songs are on probably
Right.
iTunes Music as well, wherever music
Mm.
is sold.
Yeah, all those. Anyone they like,
Hmm.
anyone they like, they could just buy it from there.
Yeah.
And most of them they're very reasonable, maybe 99 cents or something like that.
Each,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah, yeah. Each song.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause the album may have five, six, or seven songs. That's 99 cents each.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
mm,
support Garifuna artists and
right, right. We need to support them.
learn. We'll do our best to pick songs so you know what the words are saying, and
Hmm.
you can learn
Right,
the language through
exactly.
listening to music. So this is why we're choosing a song so that, at least songs here and there, you'll know what the song is saying, what the words mean.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So from at the end of each show, we'll show you in terms of what book we have planned next. This
For the
is just
next.
an example. It
Uh-huh.
might change because we'll take the
Okay.
break, so it might change. But
Okay.
so this is just an example. So when I get to that book,
Okay.
I was
All
thinking
right.
today, I told Oliver, oh, Prudential said she has it with her. So when she comes, she'll bring it and
Oh,
I'll be
okay.
able to borrow it.
All right.
And I'll also have to get a copy or copy some pages out of her grandma's book. with the
Uh-huh.
song.
All right.
And did uh you let me know which song we should do so I could just copy the page for that song and scan it in so the
Okay.
words
So I
are up.
think once you come, you have to go through the song. Then you could tell me what songs are in the book, and
Okay, and
then
then you choose.
yeah, then we could choose
Yeah.
from there.